This is Project CBNews, where the truth matters.
Hi, my name is Elsje Van Zyl. I'm an artist and photographer. My exhibition on the Ukraine is based on a trip that we did in 1999. I traveled with my mother's marionette theatre to the Ukraine, from Kiev to Lutsk to the Volyn theatre. It was a special invitation over Christmas, which is a festival and all countries were invited to showcase. Then I experienced the life moments which I captured and now printed. And decided to do it this year because of the war. And it's a very sad moment to know that most or some of these very special architecture is gone because of a war. So I captured moments that I saw from our flat, which looked a lot like that. And most flats look like that, and every street had a number, and every block of flats had a number, and every flat had a number, which stood out to me because there was no names. And I think that might be from the communist era, where you're just a number, so you're not allowed to stand out and be unique. And performing with my mother's marionette theatre, we realized how different countries are, and I even took pictures of the vintage puppets in the theatre we visited, and they were beautiful created. Then I also experienced how they exercise in the winter. They would exercise next to the river, the Dnieper River, and break a hole in the ice, which is traditional to swim in the water over Christmas because it makes you stronger, and that means when you can do that nothing can touch you. So we hope that Ukraine can hear that we feel for them and that we care about them. And we hope that the war ends soon.
Ukrainians are very strong people, and nation is very strong, and we are very optimistic. I always try to make parallels with South Africans and with your country. And recently visited the garden route, full of beautiful proteas. And I thought, in order to again alive, these flowers have to burn, and then they are blooming again. I hope that what's happening today in Ukraine will just give us another opportunity to grow our country even more beautiful, bigger. So very welcome to the exhibition. Very big appreciation to the artists. And I noticed that there are a couple of artists that put their hands together to express their feelings for Ukraine, your solidarity with Ukrainians, your small actions, starting from prayers.
A very warm and welcome to Project CB News. My name is Carlette, and I've got the ambassador of the Ukraine with us. How are you keeping?
Good day, thank you. I'm keeping strong.
Keeping strong on this side. So, Ambassador, please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm ambassador of Ukraine to South Africa already for 2 years and a half, with big honor and privilege, and ambassador of Ukraine to Botswana and Mozambique already for 1 year. I'm a career diplomat, already 20 years in diplomacy, and I was working during all my life in different capacities, starting from press attaché to consul. I'm a single mom, and I'm having 2 small boys, 9 and 5 years old. They are with me in Pretoria.
So you are living in Pretoria, but welcome in Meyerton, a very beautiful small little town in the Midvaal community, and it's just brilliant here. But there's quite some significant things about Meyerton and the small little towns in Ukrainian.
Yeah, I think so, that there is kind of connection, and this particular exhibition that we are attending in Meyerton today, this is the justification of how the small cities can make bridges between themselves. I will give you another example, maybe your viewers not aware of. We have a small city on the south of South Africa called Riversdale, and on the south of Ukraine we have a small city called Voznesensk. So these are the sister cities, Moreover, they established such a breach of relations that people are traveling, visiting families to each other. And in Riversdale, today you will find the only Ukrainian museum in Africa.
So there's quite a few resemblance concerning the small little towns as well. But there's one thing that I have to ask you, Ambassador, and that is the democracy in South Africa and in the Ukraine. Now, there is similarities and there's quite a few differences. But let's talk about the democracy.
Democracy doesn't have differences. This is all about values, the main principles of our living, about the rules according to which we are living. And South Africa has experience in not only fighting in democracy, but living and going through different transformations in democracy. And it's a very beautiful example, always been for me. We today in Ukraine basically fighting for democracy. We are fighting for these values. We are protecting the very, very basic things that are uniting us. Yes, we were undergoing, after regaining of our independence in 1991 and your independence in 1994, we were undergoing through the very similar processes of strengthening democracy. That's why for us it's very important not to allow anyone in the world to step on them.
You've spoken about values. What are those values for the Ukrainian?
This is the freedom. You know, we always say South Africans are the rainbow nation. Ukrainians are not less rainbow nation. And we were very peacefully living with within our diversity of cultures, religions, languages through all this time. It was the right of choice and freedom of choice for everyone. We were growing from that autocracy that we came out after the USSR into real democracy with the freedom of speech, with the freedom of choice. It is very broad notion. It is the right for yourself to walk on your own land. You know, we are not fighting today Russia on Russian territory. Just guess, Russia invaded Ukraine and it's making war and killing our people and taking our territories within the internationally recognized borders of Ukraine. That's what we are fighting for. We say if Ukraine today stops fighting, Ukraine is not existing. If Russia stops fighting, the war is over. Simple like this.
It's quite a simple fact of life is that we all want freedom, freedom of speech, freedom just to be who we are. And I think that is what the Ukrainians are doing so well under these circumstances, that they are living and just wanting to do and be who they are and express their freedom and individuality.
Yes, and unfortunately, because of so much propaganda and false information and news, people are failing, some people are failing to realize how deep this desire of Ukrainians to exist, to survive. It is historically that Ukrainians are struggling for our freedoms, and nothing will stop us, because it's already so much that we went through, it's so much that we lost, that we will fight until the last soldier of Russia leaves the territory of our land.
Very last little bit before I let you go and enjoy what's inside of Ligkuns photography studio and art gallery, and it's such a beautiful place inside. We will show you a little bit of what's going in there as well. But before I let you go, Ambassador, there should be a message of hope.
Ukraine itself symbolizes hope today, hope for all the world, that those values that you started with, our discussion, that they cannot be abandoned. The message of hope is that the world has to be united in all the challenges that it's facing today. And the war of Russia in Ukraine is not the only challenge. We are forgetting about the big things that are affecting us on the planet, including climate change. And all of them can be undergone only together. So this is the test for our unity globally, and this is the test for our hope.
There is always hope. Where we go, you will find yourself in desperate situations, but knowing it doesn't matter because we've got hope. So thank you so much, Ambassador, for being with us on Project CB News. And may we see that it's not just a glimmer of hope, it's like a ray of hope on the Ukrainian nation. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am Svitlana. I am Ukrainian. I was born in Ukraine during the stage when Ukraine was part of Soviet Union. And I'm now in South Africa already for 12 years. And when war started, I was in South Africa, but my family in Ukraine. Everybody asking me what is feeling. It's scary. It's very scary. It's very unbelievable. It doesn't come even after so many years. It doesn't come to the mind what it can be real, because we are here. We don't see all that terrible stuff what happened there. But when you read news, when you follow all these pages on Facebook and here, it's just heartbreaking. And every time, even first days of the war, early morning, 24th of February, when we wake up, we walk dogs together with husband, and one our neighbor, do you know what war already started? I can't believe, and he continued to talk, and I asked, but where is bombing? No, all over around, but very like calm, and I think, what is, but my mama, my brother, they are there, and I just rush quickly home to find out what, and every time when I take home, when I take phone to call my mama or brother to find out if you call and you still thinking if they answer it or not, because they can be dead already. Or you finish just talking and you think, but now bomb can fall in this house and everything ruin it and she die. And you can't eat because you think how you can eat if it's they are under bombing, under Russians attack. Or how you can go to hairdresser or whatever you can, how you can do if Ukrainian people now struggling and fighting war. And why I'm sit here in South Africa, I need to go also back and fight against this. And just few days ago, I read on Facebook our very famous Ukrainian writer, Lina Kostenko. She just write about feeling. You wake, even now, you wake up in the morning like normal, you feed your cat or dog, and same time your neighbor, Russians, just shooting you, and you don't know about if you will be next second in life or not. That is feeling.
It's quite sad that you have this fear inside of you, not knowing what your brother and sister or your mom is. Will they still be alive? What is happening? What's really happening in the Ukraine? And you've got first-hand experience on really what are you facing at this moment? So how do you feel about this?
We just try to live our normal life as much as possible. And also what I read, and it's all stages in the mind. During the Second War, some psychologists tell, during the Second War, who first die, who understand what it will never happen and I will die, they die. Or that who think it will never stop and war will continue forever, they also come weak and die. And people who just live their normal life during the terrible life conditions, trying and live just normal life, go to work or do whatever they normally do, they survive war.
It's quite a sad story that one day you wake up and then there is war, and you've got family in the Ukraine, and you don't know what is happening. If they are safe, or are they, like you said, will a bomb just fall? And you never know. And at this moment in time, you still fear for the lives of your mom and your brothers.
Yes.
Of course, yes. It's quite a sensitive thing to know that I want to be there. And I think this is how you are feeling, is that you want to be there, but you are
It's not helping to no one. Then everybody will start worry even more. My husband will start worry here, and it doesn't change too much. I am there or here.
So you said you've got brothers and your mother that's in the Ukraine. Where?
My mama in Ukraine, yeah, in Sumy. She beginning of the war. My brother, I do have brother. He live in Kiev, and mama in Sumy. Beginning of the war, they fled to Germany, and my brother still in Germany, but mama much older, and she can't take. Big change in the life. It's completely changed. And can you imagine when you flee, when it's war start, when you run away from your house, what you can take? Only your papers and nothing else, and small suitcase, because what you can take? Nothing. And then she, after 2 months being in Germany, and really European people treat Ukrainian very well, very well. They did as much as possible, even more than possible. They do everything to try and help. Yeah, she was back to Ukraine, and she now back in Ukraine. She was working in the garden, harvest all veggies and fruits and berries. Now winter coming, and she tried to live in winter, but Russia now tried to destroy all power station to leave our citizen without electricity, water, and central heating. And it is actually very scary and very worry about, yeah.
So basically the Russians are destroying the basic needs, like water, electricity.
But they understand they can't win war on the, it's actually very ugly to say, how to say in these days win war. It should not even be war. It's always some way to talk about something. But okay, it's reality now, it's war. They start to lose, then they start to terror our country and kill our citizens, and just, just ruin country this way.
So there should be hope. There should be some glimmer of hope.
We all Ukrainian, I think 90%, even more than 90%, are very positive, and we believe in our total victory, not half, total. We will bring all our lands back, and Russia will pay for everything.
So Russia will pay for everything, and there will be freedom, there will be victory. So at the end of the day, there will be victory, and Russia will not take any advantage yet again about.
It's already victory. Can you, even during this ugly thing, war, Russia help world to find out who is Ukraine and who we are Ukrainian. Because when I come to South Africa and I tell I am from Ukraine, where it is? Next to Russia. Next to Russia. But now I'm Ukrainian. Oh, you Ukrainian. Each one, every single person know what is Ukraine and who is Ukrainian.
So the Russians put Ukraine.
It's already victory.
The Russians put the Ukrainians on the map, and you can do this in your native tongue. Give the Ukrainians a message of hope.
Dear my people, I know it's tough time, but we can stand together and we will win. We all praying for you. Each person who I know, and all people praying for Ukraine, and we all knows victory will be very soon.
Can you do that in the native tongue?
Шановні українці, я вам дуже вдячна за все, що ви робите зараз там у нас на родині, на батьківщині. Ми всі за кордоном, хто живе і хто не стикнувся обличчя в обличчя з цією жахіттям, ми молимося за вас і робимо все можливе, що ми можемо приблизити нашу перемогу. Дуже вам вдячна.
And there you've got it, the Ukrainian people. There is a little bit of hope, and not just a little bit, but loads of hope on this side. And we as South Africans are just praying for the Ukraine, for those total victorious moments in time. And thank you so much for...
Thank you so much for helping us and thinking about us.
It's only a pleasure. So from Project CBNews, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
This brings us to the end of our show. Go to our website to uncover more stories at projectcb.online.